Shalom Yasha Allah. This is Brother Mapathak. That'd be key, but in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. And this is going to be a quick video. Just touching on a point that Elder Apostle Gabar made in this video, right? So, Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right, that's all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, and the name of his only begotten Son, who the world will ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Right, and the main point I want to touch on is you should know them by their fruits. Right, you should know them by their fruits, because we're not Yahweh Shai, we're not Yahweh. Right, we can't just look at a man and know for sure whether he's a man of the Lord or whether he's of the elect. But on a deeper level, Yahweh Shai actually told us that we would know a man of the Lord by the fruits that they bring forth. So this is a topic I've been meditating on for a while. And as I'm watching this video that Elder Apostle Gabar did, actually a few hours ago, 2 hours ago, he actually touched on a point. Him and Elder Apostle Rakah. Right, so I'm going to play the video a little bit, and I'm going to go into some precepts, Lord willing.
You understand? We don't know for sure who exactly. We have an idea of certain men who the elect. But if you really of the elect, man, it's up. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai know who you are. But then that's why the scripture says what? Give diligence to make that calling and election sure. So the way that you have an idea that you are of the elect is that you're doing the work of the Lord, doing your videos, going out to the camp. It's simple. Ain't no big fucking goddamn intricate philosophical breakdown to it, man.
That's right. It's simple, and that's the thing with this knowledge of ours. It's very simple, straightforward, to the point. You know, you're a man of the Lord. We're praying. Let me just include myself in there. We're praying. Okay, we fast if we have to. We're praying. We watch how we treat the brotherhood. We have a love for the leadership, the rulership. You know, we respect order. You know, the Bible is very big on order. Okay, as it is written, let all things be done decently and in order. We respect the order. Okay, there are many things that we do, as the Apostle Paul once said. He said, I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. You know, at least I should be a castaway. All right, so this is how you know that you got to be one of those men. You got to be a member of the hopeful elect. Okay, there's certain traits that a member of the hopeful elect has. And there are certain traits that a member that's not part of the hopeful elect has. Okay? So.
And also the primary thing, you could do videos and go to the camp. You got to be doing the right thing. Amongst the brotherhood, you got to be dealing right with the brothers. See, but you got a lot of wicked niggas that are amongst us. And you want to know what? A lot of our enemies come from our own so-called brethren amongst us, man. When you look at one time, like I said, we General Yohana.
And this whole video is good, but that's the point I pretty much wanted to touch on, right? You will know a man of the Lord because the men of the Lord are going to be praying in these last days, like the elder said, right? They're going to be doing the videos, right? They're going to use every opportunity that they have to preach the gospel, right? And I want to get that. I want to get that in the classic, Second Timothy 4, right? And this is 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 2. And it reads, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, right? And let's go into that word. I like to go into these words, right? I like to go into that word season, right? And it says seasonably, opportunely, when the opportunity occurs. And the Lord allowed us to really, on a deeper level, always have the opportunity to preach the gospel, except obviously if you're probably like at you're on the plantation or whatever it may be. But when you're at home and you have access to the internet, you always have the opportunity to preach the gospel and to get it to the four corners of the earth through the internet, which the Most High God gave us for that exact reason, right? And it says, and that's what that word in season and out of season it really is going into. When it's the opportunity to teach it, even when it seems like you're not really, let's go into the word, right? So I don't butcher it. Out of season, it says unseasonable, right? And when it's unseasonable, and that can deal with actual seasons, right? Like in the winter, right? True men of the Lord should still be out teaching the word, even when it's cold out, right? but it also just going into preaching the word when it doesn't really seem like it's an opportunity to preach the word, right? You don't always have to be on the highways and byways with a bunch of brothers to preach the word, right? You should be always meditating on the words of the Lord, and you should be able to bring out a lesson even when you're in the comfort of your own home, right? And that's part of having that spirit and bringing forth that fruit, right? A lot of brothers, they say they can't. Oh, I don't know what lesson I can bring out at home, right? I don't meditate on the word enough to bring it out over the phone, right? And that's what's the words I'm looking for. I'm just gonna make it plain. That's kind of off, man, right? That's kind of off. You should always be meditating on the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? And that's also the spirit that you can assume that the elect man will have, right? Well, I should say that we know through the scriptures actually that the elect man will have. You understand? So they should be able to make the videos, especially if you're a teacher of the word, right? If you can teach on the highways and byways, you should be able to teach at home using the internet as well. Let's get that real fast, because you should always be meditating on the words of the Lord, right? It shouldn't be anything more important to you than the words of the Lord, right? So it should never really be a time where you can't meditate on doing a lesson, right? Because the words of the Lord should always be in your mind. You should always be able to read a precept or hear a precept coming out that makes you say, okay, I can make a lesson out of that, right? I can edify the body of Yahweh Shai, with what I'm meditating on right now. Somebody else might be edified by my meditation, right? But if you're not meditating on the word enough, that's off. So this is Sirach chapter 39 and verse 1, and it reads, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies," right? And when you read on, the whole thing is great. It says he will keep the sayings of the renowned men, where subtle parables are, he will be there also. And you read down, it just goes into this the traits of the man that meditates on and keeps his mind to the law of the Most High, right? And is occupied in the meditation thereof. Now I want to go to Psalms to see what King David said. And King David had a perfect heart towards the Most High, right? So we know King David is part of the elect, right? So the elect men should have the same heart, right? Not probably that same exact perfect heart, but he should have the same traits, some of the same traits as King David. And this is Psalms 119 and verse 97. It says, "Oh, how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day." Right? So the man that's going to be part of the elect, that's going to see the Lord's salvation, he's going to love the words of the Most High. And it's going to be his meditation all of the day, right? You should feel, you should be scratching your neck and scratching your damn beard when you haven't been thinking about the Lord enough, when you haven't been praying enough, right? You should feel like that crackhead that's looking for his fix, right? And this word is our fix. You understand? I'm going to read this again. It says, "Oh, how I love thy law. It is my meditation all the day." And the words of the Lord should be your meditation all the day. And this is part of that fruit that you're going to bring forth, right? The fruits of the Spirit. And just touching back on the points that the elders were going into, by how you should know whether you're dealing with a man that's part of the elect or not, or a man that's really a man of the Lord or not, by the fruits that he brings forth, right? And I want to go to Matthew 7, right? Classic precept, but this is what Yahweh Shai said. And this is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 15. In the read, Salaki, it says, "Beware of false prophets," right? What is a false prophet? A man who claims to be a man of the Lord, but he's really not, right? It's plain. It says, "Which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves." And they will come to you as a man of the Lord, right? On the outer appearance, but inwardly in their hearts is not really right with the Most High, right? It says, let me get a quick precept. It's Matthew 23 and verse, I believe it's 25. I want to get straight to the point. 28. It says, This is Matthew the 23rd chapter and verse 28. It says, even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Right? And that's a sign of a man that's bringing forth corrupt fruits. Right? That's really not a true man of the Lord. When he's around men, he seems as if he studies. He seems as if he actually cares about this thing and he takes this thing serious. But when he gets behind closed doors and when nobody's around, right? Hey, he's doing his own thing. He's being a nigga. You understand? He's not meditating on the words of the Lord. He doesn't want to teach the gospel, right? He doesn't want to get this word on the four corners of the earth, right? He doesn't bring forth that fruit meet for repentance. Except when he comes around men, then he seems as if he's really in this thing. You understand? Let's go to Matthew 7. And I get comfort from this account right here, right? And I'm gonna read on. It says, you should know them by their fruits, and that's that comfort, right? Because you can see through the spirit what type of man you are dealing with by the fruits that he brings forth, right? How serious he takes this thing, right? Because men who don't really take this ministry serious and who's not really in this thing, you can kind of already perceive it through the spirit, and the Lord is going to ultimately make that separation in these last days, right? And it says, and ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? It says, even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, right? So a good tree is going to bring forth that good fruit, right? And what is the good fruit, right? Preaching the gospel, right? Doing the videos, going out on the highways and byways. You understand? Loving his brother, right? Being merciful, being long suffering, being meek, right? These are all things that are good fruits, right? And it says, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit, and that corrupt tree is going to bring forth evil fruit. What is that evil fruit? He's going to be a sluggard, right? He's going to you could go on and on. He's going to be a sluggard, right? He's going to hate his brother. He's going to envy his brother. He's going to be a talebearer, right? He's going to just be a wicked brother, man, a nigga. You understand? He's going to be a nigga. He's not going to take this ministry serious, right? And I can go and so on and so forth. It says, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, right? Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit, right? Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. That's why I said ultimately in his last days, the Lord is going to make that separation, right? The Lord is going to cut down the man who's not really taking this ministry serious. The man who's not really preordained from the foundation of the earth to ever even been in this thing, right? And that's how you know when you're dealing with a man of the Lord, because you're going to see the growth in this man, right? This man, because he's constantly studying, he's constantly praying, right? He's going to fast when he needs to, right? Like the elder Apostle Gabar was pretty much going into. You're gonna know a man of the Lord by his works that he's bringing forth, and by how he increase. And the increase is one of the most important parts. Why? Because we read about that in 1 Corinthians 3, which I'm going to get. How the Most High God giveth the increase. So that man is not increasing himself. So if you see this man increasing, it's a good sign that you're dealing with a true man of the Lord, because the Most High God is the one that gives that increase, right? And if a man is being stagnant, you see this man, he's never growing. He's constantly dealing with the same demons, the same spirit, right? He's not really taking the ministry serious. He doesn't really do any videos. He's not preaching the gospel. And the only reason why the videos are such a huge point, because through the spirit you can perceive that if the spirit of the Lord is dealing with a man, he's going to use the internet, which is the tool that was given to us by the Most High God, to spread his word, man. Right? So that's why brothers harp so heavily on the videos. Right? And it says, I'm gonna read verse 19 again. It says, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye should know them. You see that? And you're gonna know a man of the Lord by their fruits, right? Their works, right? Which goes back into what the elder apostles were going into. And I had another precept in mind, and I kind of forgot where I wanted to go after this. Salakia. Lord willing, the Lord put it back on my spirit to remember that precept. But I want to go to Luke. That's what I wanted to go to. Thawada Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's that quick you could forget your thought, man, in these corruptible bodies. But 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 6, right? And it says, I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High God gave the increase, right? And that's the point I wanted to touch on. Hey, the elect men, they're going to continue to increase. Why? Because the Most High God is giving his elect that increase, right? So you might be thinking about a brother that, and when you think about him, you're like, damn, 4 months ago, this brother wasn't on the level that he's on now, right? The way he's bringing it out, the prophecy he understands, right? How serious he's taking this thing, how on fire he is, right? Hey, when I first met this brother, he wasn't doing any videos. Now this brother is doing 3+ videos a week. Now this brother is doing 2+ videos a day, right? And that's, you know why? That's because the Most High God is giving that man the increase, right? It's not because that brother is just up. He just gets up and say, okay, I'm gonna do this out of my own will, and he just start forcing it. It's because the Most High God is giving that brother that increase. That's why you can see his spirit growing, right? And reading on, it says, I'm gonna read verse 6 again first. It says, I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High God gave the increase. So you can plant that seed, and somebody else can water that seed and try to edify a brother, help build a brother up through the watering process. But ultimately, that seed is still not going to grow unless the Most High God allows it to. See what I'm saying? So that's how you understand if the Most High God, if that's a man of the Lord, right? So it all goes back to you should know them by their fruits. And it says, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, right? But the Most High God that giveth the increase. So ultimately, that man who's doing the edifying and the man who planted the seed, right? That's what I should just say. The man who planted the seed and the man who watered it is they're not really anything. You understand? But it's ultimately ultimately of the Most High God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that giveth the increase, right? And let's go to Mark. Right, let's go to Mark chapter 4, in verse 15. It says, and these are they by the waist. I'm gonna start from 14. Let's get the whole thing. Right? It says the sower soweth the word. All right? And we know that sower is ultimately Yahushua. Right? And right now we're the husbandmen in the vineyard that's sowing the word as well, right? But it's all through the spirit of Yahushua. Right? And it says, and these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. Right? And some are going to hear the word, right? They might allow it to rest, dwell within their hearts. But Satan cometh immediately, right? Rather through a so-called friend, right? Rather through their parents, or just anything of this world. They might watch the wrong video, and now they say, forget this word. This word came from the Egyptians, right? The Bible was stolen from the Egyptians. Now I'm gonna be in the Hotep spirit, right? Whatever it may be. But this is Satan can work in all these different ways just to take the word away from someone who heard it. It says, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have received the word immediately receive it with gladness and have no root in themselves, and so endure for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended, right? And someone's going to get the word, and through trials and tribulation, persecution, things of that matter, they might not continue to endure in this thing, right? They might get offended in the Lord. It says, and these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. And you can see that happen a lot, where a brother might be always talking about his job or his woman, right? A brother that used to go out on the highways and byways and seem as if they're taking this thing serious, and they just seem to slow down, right? Their spirit not the same, like, and they always talking about that new job, or they always talking about that woman, or they talking about just the cares of this world, right? The cares of this world. And it says in verse 20, and this is the key point I really wanted to hit. It says, and these are they which are sown on good ground, right? And this is speaking about the elect. It says, such as hear the word and receive it and bring forth fruit. The elect are going to bring forth that fruit, right? Some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100, right? Some are going to bring forth 30-fold, some 60, and some 100. So some men are going to bring forth more fruit than the next man. But the point is, they're bringing forth fruit, right? They're bringing forth that good fruit, right? So which means they're constantly growing in this thing, right? The Most High God is dealing with them and using them. You understand? And let's go to John 15. And this whole chapter is a beautiful chapter. It's actually one of my favorite chapters. Yeah, this whole thing is good. So Salakia. I'm just gonna start from the top, right? It says, I am the true vine, and my father is the husbandman, right? Yahushua is the true vine, and Most High God is the husbandman. It says, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And that's why I said in the last days, those men who's not really bringing forth that fruit, the Lord is going to make that separation. He's going to separate the wheat from the tares in these last days. And it says, in every branch that bear fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit, right? And the branch that and I'm gonna go into that word purgeth, right? It means to cleanse, right? Of filth and purity, right? To prune trees, vine from useless shoots, right? So it's pretty much going to the same thing. That word purge is going to cleanse, to remove impurities from, right? So let's read that again. It says, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he cleanse, right? He purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. And the Lord could cleanse you and increase you so that you could bring forth more fruit, right? So that's the whole point I'm trying to get to. It shows how the actual men of the Lord, those that's going to be part of the elect, right? The Lord is going to cause that man to bring forth more fruit. The Lord is going to increase that man from his lowest state. You're going to see this man constantly increasing, learning more, right? Getting more in depth into the scriptures. You understand? He started off with with the milk, and now that man is heavily into the meat, and that man is gaining understanding on a different level, right? It's not because he's just studying like a maniac and it's just all at his own will. It's because the Most High God is increasing this man through his spirit, right? Through the spirit of Yahushua, right? And it says, now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me and I in you. You see that? And if you abide in Yahushua, Yahushua is going to abide in you. It says, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, and it's touching on the point that I'm going into. It's not of that own man's will, right? Because the branch can't just bear fruit of itself. It says, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except you abide in me. You see that? And that's how no man can bear fruit of himself except he's abiding in Yahushua. And the elect are going to abide in Yahushua. It says, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. Without Yahushua, nothing is possible. You can't do anything, right? It says, if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered. And men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned, right? And this whole thing is good. But that's really the point I wanted. You abide it. The only way you're going to bring forth that fruit is if Yahushua is abiding in you, right? So it's the Most High God that giveth that increase, right? Through the Spirit, right? And I want to jump down to verse 16. It says, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, right? So the ones that was chosen and ordained from the foundation of the earth, I'm going to read on. It says that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit shall remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you, right? And I don't really want to go too much more, but that's the point I wanted to hit on, right? Because just to touch on the point that the elder apostles were bringing out, how you know if you're dealing with a man of the Lord, right? And you're going to know it through their action, through the fruits that they bring forth, right? And that's backed up by the scriptures, right? So I just wanted to back up what the elder apostles are bringing out, and Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, whose name is Yahweh, and the name of His only begotten Son, who the world will ignorantly call Jesus Christ, right? And I want to give a mighty shalom to the mighty Akyonwa Akwath, right? Who tuned in and listened to the words of the Lord, right? Shalom, Yasha Allah.